Friday greetings to you televiewers on My Media Prime Television. It's your favorite bilingual program, The Brief, dedicated to the review of headlines in the papers in Cameroon. And on today's edition, we are receiving a special guest from the northwest region of Cameroon in the person of Charles Kebua. He will be painting the picture of Bamenda, especially that the rate of COVID-19 is on the rise, or the infection rate of COVID-19 is on the rise in the chief town of the northwest region of Cameroon, Bamenda. We shall equally be talking about the opening session of March, ordinary session of Parliament in Cameroon, where the both heads of the upper and lower houses of Parliament, they insisted on Cameroonians to respect the barriers measure put in place by the government to protect its citizens from the deadly coronavirus pandemic. Audrey, Zatsa, bonjour.
Bonjour à toi, Lasha Kingsley. Good morning to you, all the viewers of The Brief. Et le journal par lequel nous débutons ce matin, c'est La Voix du consommateur qui parle de la lutte contre la Covid-19 à sa une, pour ou contre le vaccin. D'après le journal, la Fondation camerounaise des consommateurs FOCACO estime que la vaccination contre la Covid-19 sera moins efficace que le traitement déjà disponible. En effet, le traitement de cette pandémie est moins coûteux pour l'État du Cameroun que les doses de vaccin britannique AstraZeneca attendues dans quelques jours. Vous aurez l'intégralité ou alors toute l'information à la page 3 de La Voix du consommateur. Poursuivons avec le quotidien Réalité Plus qui a sa une titre Samuel Iva Diboa. Les 120 000 mototaximens de Douala sont sous contrôle et incontournables. Ce sont là les propos de Samuel Iva Diboa. D'après le journal, le gouverneur de la région du littoral présente le dispositif mis en place pour encadrer les conducteurs de mototaxi à Douala. Aucun désordre ni manipulateur ne passera, déclare Iva Diboa. Tout le monde en jaune pour être reconnu Ben Skinner. Les fauteurs des troubles seront évacués du secteur des mototaxis incontournables pour le transport public à Douala et au littoral. C'était dans l'entretien du gouverneur, c'était lors de l'entretien du gouverneur de la région du littoral. L'information, en tout cas, vous l'aurez à la page 3 de Réalité Plus. Poursuivons donc avec Mutation qui parle également du Covid-19 et titre à sa une à quel vaccin se vouer. D'après le journal AstraZeneca, le choix du Cameroun est suspendu dans des pays africains et européens à cause de ses effets nocifs. Le gouvernement dans l'embarras. C'est à la page 13 que vous retrouverez cette information. Terminons avec le Messager qui parle de malversation financière. D'après le journal, une mission de recoupage de la CONAC a mis au jour d'importants détournements de l'argent public au ministère de la Forêt et de la Faune. C'est à la page 5 de Le Messager. Madame, Messieurs, c'est tout pour les tabloïds en langue française. Place aux tabloïds en langue anglaise avec toi, Lasha Kingsley.
Merci, Audrey. Let's kick start with the media newspaper this morning. The media newspaper, which revisit the opening of 2021 legislative year in Cameroon. Parliament voiced to tighten control of government spending. The eldest member of the National Assembly, Honorable Kwa Mfeng Laurentine Epose Mbende, made the disclosure Thursday in her scripted remarks while opening the March session of the National Assembly. Details on page 3 of this edition of the paper. We equally talk about Big G VIP snack bar in Bamenda that was attacked recently by armed men believed to be a member of the Ambazonian militia groups operating in the northwest region of Cameroon. And also in the paper, Friday at Supreme Court in Yaoundé, Bâtonnier Chakunte party holds last breath. According to the paper, the president of the Cameroon Bar Association, Charles Chakunte party, who died in France on October 4, 2020, would be given judicial honors at the Supreme Court in Yaoundé on Friday, March 12, 2021, ahead of his burial. See official burial program and COVID-19 barriers, measures, or guidelines for lawyers and other mourners in this edition of the Median newspaper. Chakunte will be buried in his native village, Bangante, after honors today at the Supreme Court in Yaoundé. Let's leave the Median newspaper. The Emergence newspaper this morning took interest in what is happening at the level of the Ministry of Forestry in Cameroon. Officials of that Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife have been accused of corruption. Details on page 5 of this edition of Emergence newspaper. Emergence is also interested in successionship at the level of the family of late Monkam. Monkam, the promoter of La Fale Hotel in Cameroon. And in South Africa, the children are tearing apart as a result of the man's fortune or wealth that he left behind. More details on page 2 of this edition of Emergence newspaper. We end with the national bilingual daily Cameroon Tribune. Cameroon Tribune took interest in the non-respect of barriers measures by Cameroonians. Parliaments opened yesterday in Yaoundé. The both heads of the both houses of parliament, or the eldest members of the lower and upper houses of parliament, stressed, or they were so bitter when it comes to the non-respect of barriers measures put in place by the government of Cameroon. So they call on the citizen to strictly implement or respect these COVID-19 barriers measures, which has not been so far respected by Cameroonian citizens. More details on page 5 and pages 4 and 5 of this edition of the Cameroon Tribune newspaper. And talking about COVID-19, still COVID-19 testing, hitch-free process in schools, in a meeting between the Minister of Secondary Education, Nalova Lionga, and members of the National Secretariat of Private Education yesterday, March 11, 2021. In Yaoundé, it was revealed that the COVID-19 obligatory testing in public and private secondary institutions to ensure that both the staff and students remain healthy is already taking place without any problem. Revealed during these revelations were made during the meeting which held in Yaoundé yesterday between the Minister of Secondary Education and officials of the National Secretariat of Private Education in Cameroon. More details on pages 12 and 13 of this edition of the National Bilingual Daily Cameroon Tribune. We are back in the studio and we're welcoming our guest, special guest from Bamenda, the chief town of the northwest region of Cameroon. Good morning, Charles Kebua, and you're welcome to the headquarters.
Good morning, and good morning to televiewers out there, especially those following me live from Douala, coming in early this morning. Thank you very much. I want to accept that to be your guest.
Audrey?
Oui, bienvenue une fois de plus, Monsieur Charles Kebua. Je pense que c'est la deuxième fois que nous vous avons sur ce plateau.
It's the second time.
Okay.
So
how is Bamenda this morning? When you left yesterday, I suppose.
Yes,
so
Bamenda is actually becoming a grand chantier, we will say, because the bronchitis is actually going on. Bamenda is becoming a war-torn zone because during the day, gunmen will invade the city and the town. Bamenda is fine. The thousands that are out there love Bamenda, willing to be back in Bamenda, with the present context of the crisis. Many flee out.
Recently, a big nightclub called BG VIP was attacked. Before then, Bamenda was shut down. I think on Thursday, on Wednesday, Bamenda was entirely shut down as a result of clashes between government forces and the suspected separatists.
Yes, if you followed our previous reports, which I, for example, from the region itself, did, told the world, told our people to understand that we don't know whether Bamenda is becoming now or what we talk of a war-torn zone, because it takes heart to stay in Bamenda. Let's be honest in it. It takes heart to stay in Bamenda. But let me be honest, we are contented and we need to stay there because all of us can, run out of Bamenda. Bamenda is alive, and the few, not to talk of Bafut, not to talk of Wum, Kambe, and others, but the few that are there are ready to, congest, embrace all what is coming.
What usually provoke these gunshots? Because sometimes the voices are in the bushes, like it's normal. We hear people say voices are, or the boys or voices, they call it voices. Normal. The boys are in the bushes. So what is provoking these clashes that we are seeing in the town, in the heart of Bamenda these days?
I should be honest with you. We've been in this ongoing crisis for 4 years, and we are moving towards the 5th year. If you can imagine, no schools in the past. Thanks for the understanding that schools again resumed. We thank God for that and the understanding. But let us be honest, there is a problem. And when you ask the problem, there are some persons that have actually picked up guns or arms against the state. And there are some persons who are actually members of the state that carries the guns. And with these fluctuation, whom actually turned somewhere where you don't know who is who, and has made people in Bamenda somewhere along the line to sit, whereby you don't even trust the next neighbor. What are we like trying to say? We are like leading somewhere along the line to say, Bamenda has almost become more of a war-torn zone. The most cherished Bamenda that you and I had always loved to come enjoy the Bamenda Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come send our children to go to schools in the Northwest region that for the past 4 years we've not enjoyed this benefit because gunmen had invaded the town.
Yeah, you've been to, I'm coming, Audrey, you've been to Kumbu, you've been to Nkande, you've been to Wum, you've been to Fundong, other nooks and crannies of the northwest region of the country. When you compare how the region used to be 5 years ago and what is happening today, are you weeping?
I should weep. I should actually weep, to be honest with you, because as a reporter and as a journalist, I have as an obligation to always move down the field, get the realities of whatsoever is happening, so as to disseminate the information to, the public out there. But if I tell you the past 4 years have not been easy, reasons that it's not been easy for me to sail through Bamenda, Ndop, Babisi, Jakiri, Nkum, Sabugari Junction, Ndu, and I arrive in Kambe. Why not, go down to Ako or Misaje, and coming back to Menchum Division, just to tell you that it is not an easy issue for a journalist, not to talk of the common man who that region belongs to him. I want to say it, many persons have fled the region, and flying away, if you ask today, why did you flee from the region, nobody will tell you the exact why he ran away. But it's because of the guns, and the guns that we see.
How do we silence the guns? How do we make the guns to stop smoking?
I want to believe within me as a reporter to say it is easy for these guns to be silenced.
How?
It is a matter of understanding. Get to those that carry the guns, and those that have the illegal guns, And those that have, the natural, that is, the legal guns, they themselves, to come to a compromise, sit on a table, and dialogue flows for these guns and the guns to stop smoking.
Mr. Kebua, a few days ago we heard that there were a series of gunshots from in Bamenda town, and as a resident of that area, like, how have you guys been living around, and how did you even manage to leave Bamenda and come here in Douala?
Thank you very much. I am here because I am here for duty, not that I actually flee out. But there are some persons that when they hear the gunshots, all they need is run out of the town. And let me be honest with you, it has made even the region itself is paralyzed economically. I want to believe and I want to say it unto you that we had whole lots of taxis that used to ply Bamenda town. But today, most of those taxis, they have left Bamenda city.
Okay. Notwithstanding, work still continues in Bamenda. We see the authorities there are trying to put, fight urban disorder, like we'll be seeing in some of the videos that if it is ready, our producer should play us the video, trying to demolish some homes in Bamenda in a bid to put order in that part of the country.
Yeah, the government has been doing so much somewhere along the line to ensure, take for example, the Bamenda City Council in the past to make sure that with all these on and off issues, they brought in the shuttle buses that you saw in the past to, ensure accompanies, the inhabitants toward in terms of movement. But when we come today and we are talking again on this new aspect that we are talking, which is that of, I still repeat, the Bamenda City Mayor says it's a new Abu Dhabi. Yeah, that's how he coins it. And Bamenda, within this short while, is going towards what we talk of destruction, demolition of some structures, like it's always said. Destruction comes, that's development comes along with destruction. Well, it's a World Bank project which is presently going on in the city, and in collaboration with the World Bank and the government of Cameroon, are struggling to see how Bamenda can become a grand chantier. It's good and fine, but
how are they able to do this with the guns? Are the guns not still smoking?
Yeah, you can imagine. You can imagine 2 days.
Like that.
Yeah, 2 days. 2 days ago, we are talking precisely day before yesterday, that was Wednesday.
So when was this work? When was this work that we are seeing on our screen? When was it?
Even these works that you saw that began under the collaboration of the Bamenda City Council, money from the World Bank and the government of Cameroon to ensure that Bamenda tomorrow becomes, the Abu Dhabi that the Bamenda City Mayor Achomongpo has been saying, it goes along with destruction. If you can look or you see presently these images, that is the Northwest Governor himself doing what we talk of moving around to see what is happening and transpiring within the town, and also ensuring or assuring the population to know that, the works that are going, it's something which, if tomorrow is realistic, Bamenda turns to be, a new Dubai.
Mr. Charles Kebua, the authorities are not only fighting urban disorder, they are equally fighting COVID-19. We are reliably informed that the rates of infection is skyrocketing in the Northwest region.
I should honestly tell you that if you see in my pocket here, it's because we are in the studio and we are on what we talk of ensured distance,
social distance,
physical distances. This is, if you can see, this is my own, what I talk of having my face mask. The rate of COVID in the Northwest region has skyrocketed, let us be honest. And it's something where many people have not actually acknowledged and believe that COVID is real. I was talking with the regional delegate of public health 2 days ago,
Dr. Kingsley.
Dr. Kingsley in So, where I pleaded to him to have an interview with him, let's be honest with this, such that he can give us a lot of whatsoever it is. But I was unfortunate that he was so busy with some meetings to what he responded. It is just the same like the city councils, the city council and the councils of Bamenda. Let me greet at this juncture the mayor of Bamenda too, Chenwe Peter, whom also, you know, the high mortality rate of COVID is within Bamenda too, which is now the city of Bamenda.
Is it because of the climate, the cold nature of Bamenda and the cold and the dusty nature of Bamenda? What are the authorities actually doing?
Bamenda is too dusty as of moment, we will say, as people await the rains and pray the rains come, such that, you know, people should not use the face mask. You only like think of covering the dust, but that, you know, the face mask itself should also be like that preventive measure towards fighting the COVID-19. But let me be honest to say it to you that with the high rate of COVID running to plus 2,000s in the region.
That's serious.
Yes, plus 2,000s with over 97 persons registered dead. The Bamenda Regional Hospital with Dr. Dennis Same is doing everything to ensure that, like they have at the regional hospital in Bamenda there, before you get into the regional hospital, you must be tested at the gate, ensure you have your face mask.
What are the situation at the various markets in Bamenda, as well as you know, bus stations? Let's put it that way.
I want to honestly tell you that this is a sad situation, because I left Bamenda last night to travel to Douala to be here this morning. I was on with my face mask, but to tell you, at the various markets, just like the bus agencies, it's something that needs a lot of precautions, because even the bus, we'll call them conductors, they themselves, they talk with persons without putting on their face mask. That is to tell you that just like the markets in Bamenda, people move from one angle to the other without even respecting, you know, the distance barrier, without even putting on their face mask, or even on some shops thinking that there should be those cans where you can wash your hands and ensure you are sanitized before you get in and all that.
Yesterday, during the
it's also
opening, we saw the heads of both houses of parliament stressing on COVID-19. Like Cameroon Tribune did review this morning.
Yeah.
So, Charles Kebua?
Yes, we have seen it, and it's worth for thousands to know that COVID-19 is real, and it's something where when the press writes and the press talks of what they have written, it tells Cameroonians to know that COVID-19 is real, and it's something for all of us, you know, to take it as a measure, do everything to ensure that what the government of Cameroon has put as, you know, barrier measures, ensure we put on our face mask, make sure there is this social distancing, make sure that, you know, if we are going out of the house, we should carry along. Why not carry along your hand sanitizer and move wherever you are, such that, you know, you don't transmit, you don't know who is a carrier. That's one thing in
and
the
they were
issue.
equally talking about the rates of accidents that have occurred in Cameroon from 1st of January to March itself, 2021. There has been a good number of accidents that have been recorded in Cameroon.
Parliament,
so
blame Ministry of Transport and National Gendarmerie.
I followed yesterday, honestly, reading through a communique from the Minister of Transport talking of, you know, fog lights. That, yeah, the vehicles should not carry white lights. They should move only with the yellow light. Yeah, I traveled from Bamenda last night to be here in the studio. Let's be honest. There are certain things in this country that we need to be honest with it. I don't think the much so ever accidents on our highways is caused by the lighting systems of the vehicles. We have bad roads. Bad roads contribute in, the numerous accidents we have. Accepted. The fog lights, yes, but in another story, you should know that these drivers, they use the fog lights to see visibly when it comes in the night. But with what the minister has come, it's not as if I'm contradicting.
Is the minister reacting because Parliament has blamed the Ministry of Transport and National Gendarmerie?
I want to believe that the minister himself, with the decision when he took, he never consulted Parliament. And it's good that Parliament is to sit, to think and review this issue of the much accidents that we have been having on our way, whether it is the highway, that is a problem, like they say, the road does not kill, but the drivers or the vehicle kill.
Thank you so much, Charles Kebua, for being our special guest on today's edition of the program. You traveled all the way from northwest region of Cameroon to be part of this edition of the program. Thank you so much, sir.
Quite much. It's a pleasure. Let me use this opportunity to greet the Mayor of Bamenda 2 Council, Chenwe Peter, whom tomorrow will begin what we talk of disinfecting some schools to ensure that the high rate of COVID within the Bamenda 2 municipality should be waved away. Let me greet the Dr. Awazi of Alpha Clinic, who has been doing so much to ensure that the clinic itself fight COVID. Okay. Let me greet the medics in the Northwest region to say COVID is real and let's march on.
Voilà, merci à vous, madame, messieurs. C'était des briefs pour vous. Les programmes se poursuivent sur My Media Prime Television.
Thank you for watching Televiewers. The program was produced by Christain Tebong, and for presentation, we've been Audrey, Zatsa, and myself, Lasha. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.